Hello and welcome to the Yogscast. Today we're looking at the Necromancer class, a little spotlight on the abilities. This is Hannah's Necromancer actually. It's got a flesh beast here, and I'm actually in the middle of a quest to defend beehives from hungry bears that are attacking these bee boxes. Sorry about that. I wanted to sort of just show off the abilities of this class. So we're going to look at these, all of the classes in these little sort of spotlighty videos, show off the skills. So this is a unique Necro class ability, which is to turn into this evil Necro form, and it kind of builds up gradually through people dying around you, or your sort of allies and enemies also dying, and you get sort of a fear and a couple of sort of attacks. So it's quite cool. Death Shroud. So there's a veteran horrible mob here, which is probably just gonna absolutely destroy me, but I'm going to try and attack it anyway. I've got my pet, which always accompanies you, and this sort of is the heal, the Necromancer heal.
It is beautiful.
It's a weird one. It's actually summon pet, and then when you sacrifice the pet, it heals you. I actually just failed the beehives quest because I wasn't really paying attention, and all these bears just got all the honey and they're off to the woods now.
But they're still hungry. Surely they should be, you know, sated bears because they've eaten all the honey.
Happy bears. Yeah, and they just vanish into like cliff face. Don't worry about that.
That's where bears live, in the cliff.
So, I'm currently holding a war horn and an axe. Okay, and the war horn gives you a speed boost. It gives you these cloud of locusts also, and the axe, it's kind of, they're not really melee attacks. They're kind of ranged spell attacks, but they're sort of quite close range. So the way sort of things work in Guild Wars 2 is if you have a weapon which is like an axe on a caster, it tends to be more close range. Whereas if you have something like a staff, it'll be longer range. So in fact, I'm doing pretty good against this veteran mob. Normally these veteran mobs are absolutely hard as nails, because I've obviously been leveled down to the same level as this mob. So I'm like effectively a level 12, maybe even level lower than that. But there you go, I killed it. I had to sacrifice my pet to get some life back.
Ah, right, yeah.
But that's pretty cool. So these, I mean, the standard sort of abilities, they each are slightly different. So this one removes buffs from the target foe and does additional damage. So that's kind of a PvP type ability. And so most weapons have some sort of semi-PvP ability, like a cripple. So now I've switched to the staff, and I have this phantasmal grasp attack, which is this sort of auto attack, the number 1. And it will keep chain casting. That's how these first attacks work. If you just press it once, it will throw out hundreds of... It will just keep throwing out hands.
I love that ability so much. I love it.
But that look so good. And you can see the little green orbs that are coming off the deer that I was killing. They are the things that power up my ultimate. Okay? So the other things that Necros have, each class has kind of ability. I'm not going to touch the owl, or else Hannah would just go mad. There's a boss down in a giant fish boss down there, by the way. I'm not going to go near that either. So this is quite a cool one. It turns your staff into a scythe and sends out like a reapery kind of attack, which is very, very cool. And these things are marks that you put on the ground. They're kind of like traps, and when people run through them, they get affected. And the one I just used was a sort of a slow and a vulnerability. And there's another one. See, it sort of goes off. And this here, the 5th ability, Putrid Mark, again, is something which is a trap. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some on the floor here if I get a chance to show this off. I'm just going a bit nuts with all the abilities.
That's pretty much how it works, though. You just use everything on cooldown and things fall over dead.
So Putrid Mark transfers conditions from allies to foes when triggered by a foe. Okay, so if you are crippled and you run through this, it will cripple the person who's attacking you. So for example, if you put that down and there's a warrior who's crippled you, it will cripple him instead. Okay, this one next to it, Chillblains, is a chill and poison, and that one over there is a sort of bleed and vulnerability. Okay, so I can now drag monsters through these marks and infect them with these things. But obviously they all look the same, so the person doesn't know which one they're going to run through if it's on the ground. So there's nothing that distinguishes it. as a particular kind of trap. And I love the way your staff turns into a scythe when you cast.
I think it helps that the trap thing is green, and like the glyph you're laying on the ground is also green. Does that help camouflage it?
It's pretty cool. So I'm trying to lure someone over these traps, but they're having none of it. They're just not interested. I've got some stags over here, so they might work better. There you go, let's throw one over there. So there you go. So that one was the chillblains, that one was the disease, and now my pet's getting involved. But look how much damage that did, like, pretty quickly. You know, just through running through those traps. They got, like, owned totally.
It's just a deer, though, isn't it? I mean,
it's like a level 9 stag. It wasn't like a critter or anything.
it's like Bambi. You just owned Bambi, and you're so proud of yourself.
So the first 4 are sort of wells, and I've actually got a well on key 7. But I can also, but the next sort of 4 are different kinds of minions that you can summon, and obviously you can add these. So the first hotbar, the first 5 abilities change based on your weapon, but the second 5 you can change based on skill points that you earn in the world. So you have to pay for them, you know, and you can only have a certain amount. And 0 is reserved for the elite skill. So there's Lich Form, which transforms you into that sort of lich, that cloud of flies that you may see before, or I'll show it to you actually on the engineer video. But in this case, I'm just going to show off all the cool pets that you can get.
Oh my god!
So you've got Bone Fiend there, you've got 2 Bone Minions, and got a Flesh Golem. Okay?
And you can have them all out at once?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So these are like, this is the River Drake here, just no big deal. It's just, the guys are just, my army's just going to work on them. Flesh Golem just like leaps forward into stuns and stuff. They've all got active abilities that they sort of use, like charges and stuns, and some of them poison, and some of them are ranged. So you can kind of, you know, choose which ones suit your playstyle best. But oh my god, aren't they terrifying?
They're amazing.
Okay, so next I'm going to look at dual-wielding daggers and also the scepter instead, and I think the offhand focus instead of the offhand torch. No, the offhand warhorn. Sorry. So with the scepter, you get another well, you get insect swarm, which you unleash on people, and it sort of spreads disease, and it also fears them. So these cows are running away in fear. Which is quite a common mechanic in other games, but I think it's one that's pretty unique to Necromancers in this. I've certainly not seen that mechanic on anything else. There's a sort of slow, there's a few kind of damage abilities. These poor guys are getting owned. The offhand focus, these sort of debuffs, so poison and weakness, and chill and vulnerability. So basically, the 2 offhands for the focus are 4 different conditions you can put. So look how many conditions there are on these guys, these bulls. They're just covered in like diseases and crap. It's horrible.
Do you think this is more PvP, these abilities, or?
Well, look how quickly they all die. I mean, the Mesmer, you know.
You've got an army, mate. You've got a whole army of creatures bent to your will.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? So the other one is the daggers, which is actually sort of more melee based, but also life drainy based. So I actually have to get up a lot closer and life tap. I've also got another different mark, and I also found that if I actually use these abilities from my pets, they can actually like do things like explode at my will, or charge the bull. So I can actually, and they'll knock down stuff like this. So they do actually have active abilities on the pets as well on cooldown. So I've got various marks that look slow or cause disease or cause bleeds. And this one is Unholy Feast that damages nearby foes, so it's like a player-based area of effect spell. That guy's going nuts over there. Just gotta suck his blood out. He's dead. Now,
Are these harpies? Ah.
yeah, I didn't find them as difficult as I expected, but they are hitting me pretty hard, as you can see. Because I'm wearing light armor as a necromancer, so I'm not really designed to get up in the action if I can avoid it. So daggers are certainly. That's why you get these life taps as daggers. So it is a playstyle that works, but it's definitely harder.
Well, it makes sense that if you're in a position where you'll take more damage, that you have life-draining abilities. So, and you can always shift to this other form as well. God.
Yeah. Which does a pretty good amount of damage. So there you go. Let's look at the necromancer. What do you think, man? You impressed?
The pets just really make it. I mean, my God, these disgusting-looking, horrible creatures that you've got. They're beautiful.
They are absolutely disgusting looking.
I played Necromancer a little bit, but I didn't see any. I didn't unlock these amazing pets. I wish I kept playing it now, but I stuck with the engineer. So next beta, I definitely want to look at Necromancer and level 1 up.
The thing is, if you keep saying that about all of them when I show you these videos, you're going to want to play all of them.
And you only have 5 character slots, so you can't.
I guess, yeah, per server.
More character slots, please, Blizz. Thanks.